loose again. Edwards off the running. Punch it back down to Edwards. They hand it off to Johnson. Boise State has won. Right now, and they take a downfield shot. And the catch is made. It's Ryan Williams. Goes to the free. Touchdown.
All right, welcome in everybody to another edition of the Gridiron Uncensored podcast. Oregon, you are on deck for a season preview. You are the last one that we had, winning the Big Ten championship. Obviously, great season. Trevor, myself, Brendan, tonight we're excited to talk about the Ducks and kind of see what's going on with how we're feeling for this 2025 season. Trev, you know how we usually do these. We go 2024.
That's right, baby.
Then we move on in. It's been a long off season doing these previews. We're burned out, baby, but we're doing it. Either way, we like to jump into 2024 first, guys, and then we move on in to 25. Coaching staff, portal, player, all that good stuff. You're going to see it here soon. But first, 2024, great season, regardless of how it ended. People were questioning how these teams like Oregon, USC, how are they going to do coming into the Big Ten? After the first couple of weeks, there was some really big concern on this Oregon team. And this was a team that I picked to win the national championship. And Trevor, you might have been up there too. I can't recall. But remember. I mean, there was, in my opinion, so much hype with this team. Dylan Gabriel coming in. It was a great roster. And a couple of scares early. Boise State, we knew it was going to be good, but then you started tearing it up. UCLA, Michigan State, tight win against Ohio State in Eugene. Awesome game. Blowing out Purdue, beating Michigan. I mean, handling your business, beating Washington, taking down Penn State in the Big Ten championship. And everybody's like, okay, this team is it. They're rolling. And then we saw what happened in the Rose Bowl. I mean, just nasty. Got ugly quick. Shit happens. How do you build from it? How do you roll on, Trevor? It starts with, returning production, coaching staff, all that. We're going to talk about it real quick. Oregon had the 22nd offense in the country last year and the 15th defense. You lose a lot of that production. 43% returns. S&P Plus has you as the 7th best team in the country, and you're facing the 32nd strength of schedule, according to Bill Conley and his S&P Plus. Trevor, can this team, coaching staff wise, kind of build into this next year? What's new? What's changed with the staff?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't really do a ton of changes necessarily. Promotions, Drew. I'm gonna read his name wrong. And Mehringer, yeah. Got promoted from tight end coach to co-offensive coordinator, which is good for him. I'm sure that's a nice pay bump. Yeah. And then they brought in, I have Ross Douglas coming in as the new wide receivers coach and passing game coordinator, which, I mean, look, Ross Douglas, he was last year, he had the same role at Syracuse. So obviously, they liked what he did there. He was the wide receivers coach for the New England Patriots for 3 seasons prior to going to Syracuse. So he's kind of dabbled in both. He's got both collegiate and NFL experience, which honestly, the NFL side is probably more attractive to a lot of the Oregon players than him being a former collegiate coach. Coaching wide receivers over in the NFL is a whole lot different than here. So he can give them a little bit of insight on what coaches out in the league expect, because make no mistake about it, the Oregon wide receiver crew, that's when you go to Oregon, when you go to places like Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan, so on and so forth, that's the progression that you want to get to the league. So I think this is overall good hire for them.
Yeah, I think so too, and it'll only help out with the room that they have, and especially with the injuries and talent that they've lost, these young guys are going to need somebody to lean on. So obviously Lanning's back. He's really changed this program, defensively, where it used to just be, okay, Oregon, we know they're going to have an explosive offense, but now you trust that they have a strong defense too. And we'll see if that can continue. Again, they did lose a ton of production. But how do you kind of replace that? Well, you have to hit the portal nowadays.
And they definitely did.
And Trevor, they did it. And it's not with a lot of numbers, but you don't always need a lot of numbers when you recruit well, like Oregon does. And Dan Lanning's really, I feel like he's cranked that up too. But when you look at the portal class, they touched on the offensive line, which of course they needed, but they also got big piece at safety. I mean, they got cornerbacks coming up from Ole Miss. They got pieces across the board. Finished as 5th in the country in the transfer portal. What do you see in this portal class, Trev, that you like?
Obviously the biggest one for me, I love is that they got Bear Alexander from USC. I mean, he's a beast in the middle there for their D line. And I'm a really big fan of them picking up Malik Benson from Florida State. I think that'll be a big help for them.
I agree.
I mean, they've all of these transfers that they brought in, honestly, are potentially could be making impacts this season. Dylan Thieneman from Purdue, he's going to be an impact somewhere.
He's a beast.
Yeah, he's going to be impact somewhere, and he is a beast. He was all over the field for Purdue last season, and he actually was a very big disruptor in a lot of different games for them. So I think that is a huge gift for them at safety.
Yeah, I agree, man. And you mentioned Benson, especially, with the wide receiver, injuries that happened to Evan Stewart. I mean, that's just it's a tough loss, but at least you get somebody in that can plug.
Absolutely.
So they did what they needed to do on the portal, especially up front. Isaiah World, that dude, he's going to be a top NFL prospect. And then even, the other lineman they brought in, Pregnon, he's another guy that he'll be a pro. There's already, talk about him. Harkey coming up from Texas State is a big body. So they filled those gap needs. And I mean, let's just go into it, Trevor, talking about the offense, because they plug how they need, but they're going to have 4 offensive linemen, 4 new starters on the O-line, if I can get my goddamn words out. And these guys that we mentioned are all going to step in immediately. And really, it's the center is the only holdover, and he's got all Big Ten honors. So, I mean, the O-line, I think, is going to be fine on the first 5. They've recruited well there. Really, how do they mesh? How quickly can they get their team together? And just, what about the depth side of it? Maybe the guys that are missing reps or haven't gotten it, but they're talented. That's maybe a question I have. Just how quickly do these guys pair? But before that, it's quarterback play. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody knows who it is. It's just how is it going to pan out? And it's Dante Moore. It's his show. He waited his time after really a rough first season. Trevor at UCLA kind of get cast in the fire there. Only threw 53% completion percentage, 11 touchdowns, 9 picks. Star recruit, committed to Oregon, then left, and then now he's back. He waited behind Dylan Gabriel. There's obviously enough trust there from the coaching staff to not go and hunt for another portal. But I'm curious just how he does, man, after waiting a year. I don't know. That's a big question mark for me.
It is a big question mark. And what I would say about Dante Moore is that, one, I think it showed a sign of maturity that he did not. He picked Oregon specifically because they had a veteran quarterback that he could sit, watch, learn. But with that being said, this is his show, like you said. And their overall depth chart at quarterback, he is the elder statesman.
Yeah.
And that's saying something for a redshirt sophomore. There's him and Austin Novosad, both redshirt sophomores. Then you got Luke Moga and Akili Smith Jr. Both are one's a redshirt freshman, the other one is a true freshman. Yeah. So when you're looking at the depth chart of quarterback, it is pretty much Dante Moore.
Yep.
You don't have a backup, really. I mean, you do, but you don't.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Novosad's talented. He's a very talented guy, but it's agreed the reps and it's Dante Moore.
Yeah,
It's just
exactly.
how he steps up, and
Yeah.
that's the biggest question. I know a lot of Oregon fans feel like he's ready to go. They've seen tape,
Mhm.
and he very well could be. I just want to see it before I
Look,
really buy in.
yeah, and Brendan and I we both watched the games that he was at UCLA with, and I, I mean, I think he is talented. I think he's got a decent arm, everything like that. I just thought that at the time he was young. I thought he did well for what they were asking him to do. So it'll be interesting to see what a year sitting does and how he goes through his progressions.
Yeah.
Is he going to be a Jalen Milrow where he's a one read chump? Or is he going to actually sit back there, trust his O line, who's really new, like Brendan just mentioned? There's going to be a lot of new faces on the offensive line. Is he going to be able to trust them enough to sit there and go through 1, 2, 3 progressions?
Yeah.
And do the things that Lanning wants him to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And it all just remains to be seen. But again, the the new starters there, they are veterans, and that's a plus. It won't take so long for them to gel like we've seen on other offensive lines where they're piecing together young guys. And I think Dan Lanning is going to have this team pretty squared away. We just got to see it. It's always hard replacing so much talent. Wide receiver is another one. We lost, Evan Stewart. He got injured. Horrible. I hate seeing that because he's such a talented guy. Out for the season is my understanding from a knee injury. But you've got loaded talent with young receivers, and then Malik Benson coming in too. Trev, what do you see in that receiver class? Because there's one guy
the receiver core is good, but they are really high, and he is actually right now, per certain reports that I've read, is that he is slated as the starting what do you call it, the Z position. Thank you. Okay, I was thinking about it for a second. He's the Z position. Decorian Moore, their 5-star wide receiver, true freshman, is slated to be a starter.
Oh yeah,
who's going to get significant? He's been blowing it up. He's going to have significant time. Then they have at the X position, they have Kyler Casper as potential starter, or not starter, but like a 1-2 punch. And then obviously they brought in, God bless it,
Benson.
Benson. Oh Lordy,
it's been a long
season. Benson's obviously going to find his way into the mix there as well. Like, they are just. So right now they have Decorian Moore as the starter right now. Malik Benson's right behind him, but I think those are two interchangeables.
Yeah.
That's, the rich get richer at wide receiver. It seems like, Brennan, this offseason.
They do.
And I take offense to it.
I do, and I think that's not a spot that Oregon's really going to worry about, regardless how well they recruit that position. But it's just, these young, especially young guys stepping up. But I mean, the dude is loaded with talent. He's made crazy catches I've seen from some tape and in camp, and he's going to be just fine. And I think
I'm not really concerned. But like Brendan mentioned, though, offensive line, definitely potential concern.
Yeah, it just, as long as they
and we mentioned it in a few other teams, Ohio State included. The offensive line, you're kind of thin at as far as experience goes. So we're just going to kind of wait and see and pray that you guys don't have any catastrophic injuries on the offensive line.
Yeah, and then outside of that, halfback, you get a big boost from Hughes coming up. He was a really great back at Tulane. And then Jordan James, he's still there. And he had 540 yards, rushing last season. So there's talent, there's weapons there. Want to see how the tight end position, get them involved heavily. Get this young quarterback comfortable and give him quick throws and let this offensive line gel. Which again, I think through camp they're going to be all right, but it's just a possibility of concern. Outside of that, defense, again, another place that you're replacing a lot of talent. The interior is the one that I'm kind of concerned about. Bear Alexander last year, really a strange season for him because the year before, I mean, he had a really great year, 47 tackles in 23, but last year it just wasn't there. Like he had moments that he came in, he would play like 5 tackles. He only had 4 solo. And then I think about like the Michigan game where he got blown back, where Mullings really tore him up and got the winning drive there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like a strange season. Maybe the fit just wasn't right. USC's had problems, but now he's with Dan Lanning. Can he turn him around and back into that big time prospect that everybody expects to see from him? And then, outside of that, it's the rotational guys on the interior coming up. The edge is going to be strong. I mean, the edge rushers are going to be right there. Tuioti, Uiagalelei, those guys, they're going to get it. And then linebacker production's coming back. So I think the front group, Trevor, is going to be good. What do you see on that end before we talk back?
Yeah, no, I think overall, I think they have enough depth at the defensive line position, but I really want to see Barry Alexander take a next step, because I think that's the only way that he is going to make a real big difference. Because I think otherwise he's going to find himself getting rotated out for Aiden Breland and Tion Gray, both are redshirt freshmen that are sitting behind him waiting for their opportunity as well.
Yeah.
At D tackle. So I think there's a potential where Barry Alexander, if he's not performing on the bigger stages, you're going to see some of the younger guys getting reps and getting their opportunity to, make a difference as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you got Washington sitting there that he's gonna, Amari Washington, he's gonna play a factor.
Yeah, he's gonna be the nose tackle. He'll be in the middle with Barry Alexander, so he could command a little bit more attention than maybe what Barry Alexander is used to.
Yeah,
being where he was at before.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with him. But to me, for this team to really go far, they need that defensive line to be shored up, especially in the interior. I said the same thing about Ohio State. There's, to me, some concerns there with depth, but we'll see. Linebacker, again, good production coming back. Devin Jackson, he's a talent too. And then safety, you got guys that can play. These guys are going to step in. Cornerbacks got talent too, but again, it's young guys that need to step up kind of throughout. Johnson, he's your main guy back there. He's got a lot of reps. He's got a lot of talent, deflections. I like the pieces back there. It's just I want to see these rotational guys really get into the fold and how well they do, but they're loaded with talent.
Yeah, 100%. The cornerbacks and most of like the linebackers, like you said, I think the secondary, the second level and back is fine.
Yeah,
it's fine overall. You got depth, you got experience. I think you got very talented linebackers and corners, including some of the corners that you're bringing in with this year's recruiting class, which I think there was like 3 or 4 that were of note. Just in the regular recruiting class, I counted three corners that potentially can make a difference, with Naeem Offord being the cream of the crop of them. At 5, being a top 3 corner in the country at 5-star, 6'1", 185.
Yeah.
So I think that there's a potential for him to make a difference with the cornerback crew. But that being said, they already had a good stable of corners already on the roster.
Absolutely.
So once again, the rich get richer.
And you get some help in the portal too with Jaden Kennedy coming over from Ole Miss. And then of course we mentioned him earlier, Thieneman. I mean, the guy's going to fly all over the field. The back end, I think, especially with him coming in to the mix, just gets that much better. And really last year, the one time that we saw this team fall apart was against Ohio State. Outside of that, I mean, they were locked down. So if they can square those issues away from what happened in that game, and I think Dan Lanning will.
I think that's why the reason they went so hard on corners and went and got Thieneman, a more physical corner / safety. I think that's why they went after him.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna fill any void that appears in the field in front of him. Trevor, let's look at the schedule, because the season to me again is predicated on
absolutely
the quarterback position. How does it fall together? How well does he step into this new starting role? How quickly does the line mesh? They're loaded with talent there. With these guys coming in from the portal, huge talents. Just how quick do they mesh? And then on the back end, on the defense, the interior of the line is a concern for me. But I think the pressure you're going to get off the edge will help big time. Trev, you guys see the schedule here. The over-under currently is set at 10.5. So Vegas, they trust what's going on. They trust Dan Lanning. And really, when you look at the schedule,
It's pretty easy to see why.
it sets up nicely. I think there's landmines throughout. I do.
There is.
But it all depends on how those teams shape up and how, again, the quarterback position here at Oregon unfolds. When you look at that first set, really the only one that I say the only one, there's two that I would circle. I don't think Oklahoma State's going to be a concern, really, that unless the quarterback really shows out. I mean, you can go look at all of our previews. They got them all over YouTube. I don't think they're going to be it. Oregon State is one from the group of 6 that I would watch. I think their roster's set up pretty well. And then Penn State, of course, in University Park, Beaver Stadium is going to be a night game. It's going to be freaking crazy, Trevor. Yeah. And then after that, what do you think, buddy? What are you seeing?
See, so I think Penn State at University Park, that might be a loss for you guys.
Yeah.
And a night game, so it's going to be a whiteout. We all know it. We know it's coming. But if that's a loss, and if it's a bad loss, going into the bye week with that on your head, and then you have Indiana coming into Autzen.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on how their team makeup and all the transfers that came in at the transfer quarterback and everything is shaken out, that could be a dangerous trap, a little bit, not necessarily a trap game, but just a like Brendan said, a landmine. It could be a landmine for your season right there. After that, I'm not concerned with Rutgers for you guys or Wisconsin. Iowa, again, I think they're going to be improved. They're just not going to be on y'all's level. Minnesota, not going to be there. And then you have your last 2 games, which I think are both landmines, to be perfectly honest with you. Now, I know what everyone thinks of USC, and everybody loves dogging on USC, myself included.
Easy to do.
Myself included. But that being said, having USC right before you go into Husky Stadium for your final game of the season, depending on where your record is, could be a very dangerous trap game.
Oh, hell yeah. I agree.
And so that's where I'm at with it. And I think I'm going to take the under this year for Oregon.
Yeah, buddy. I'm right there with you on the under. We're not trying to be haters. Like I said, I picked Oregon to win the national title last year.
Yeah.
You guys let me down.
I still like Oregon. I just think that the way their schedule sets up, there is more landmines than what people are talking about.
Yeah, especially in that last grouping.
The last grouping, definitely. There's nothing to say that Iowa doesn't come in and knock your teeth, or you don't go into Kinnick Stadium and just Iowa just shuts you down, which I don't think will happen. I'm just saying there's always anything's possible in the Big Ten. It always happens. Something crazy always happens.
A November game at Kinnick is usually a death sentence, and
it's tough.
If it's a night game. So when I look at this, you guys are probably gonna fucking hate me. Send any flack you want to our comment section, please. We will respond. But again, we try to be very objective here and keep it as real as we see it. We're fans, man. We're not trying to be insiders or whatever. We're fans. We love the game. And what I'm seeing from where I sit, the quarterback that has been sitting, he's ready to go, supposedly, but how rusty, is he from when he gets into the big game situations? Will the time at UCLA kind of come back into play? That's a question that I have. And then that interior line, when you're going up against these teams that can run, Penn State's going to run it down your freaking throat. They're going to, they know the weakness.
They'll use the 2-headed monster against
They have top level running backs and offensive linemen. They're going to attack, and you got to be able to stop it. Indiana, I think, is going to be a good one. Probably around the same as last year, or as what we saw last year. We know they had tough moments in big games, so maybe in Autzen they'll fall apart. But then it's that last one. Iowa has a quarterback that's competent, and that something they haven't had. and to pair that with their defense, to me, that's a dangerous one. Minnesota has a quarterback that they really like. We haven't seen him play yet, but all the reports show that he is pretty damn good. And they've got a good running game too. So again, if they can attack, okay, we might have some problems. USC is one that I don't trust their quarterback situation as well, but if things click for them, the talent that they have and the portal additions they made, it's going to be dangerous. And then Washington, a lot to like about that team, especially on offense with Damon Williams. He's really shown out in the snaps that he's played. So that's something you need to watch. Last game of the season. When I look at it, again, this is worst case scenario. The quarterback situation folds. The interior line can't hold up. Shit goes sideways all fucking direction. I'd say 7-5. If things go horribly wrong, knocked down, it's disgusting. Tear me up apart. I don't care. That's what I see. But I think if things go the way, I'm not saying they're going 7. I'm saying that's a horrible situation. I'm more towards there's like mid-ceiling range. I've got a ceiling of 10-2. Probably lost to Penn State, and then you're going to drop one of those last games. That's the way I see it. And maybe 2 of the last games. So I'm more of a 9-3 Oregon season is where I land.
I'm kind of right there in that 10-2, 9-3 myself, just as more of a realistic. I think worst case, if you were to drop another one off the top of my head, I would say Oklahoma State catches you.
Yeah, I mean, it
catches you sleeping on them.
They could. They very well could, because they were so shitty last year.
Yeah, everybody's going to be sleeping on Oklahoma State until they prove something, honestly.
So you might hate what I say about it, but there's landmines all over the place. It doesn't look like it, maybe from the initial look at it. No, it's not daunting. No, these guys, there's improvement across the league.
Look, Oregon fans, I know you guys don't like us here talking like that, but look, at the end of the day, I know most of you understand this, is that you are Oregon. So every team that you play, they are going to come at you with everything they got.
Defending Big Ten champions too.
Everybody's coming at you, just like Ohio State, just like Michigan. Everybody that's considered the top tier of the Big Ten, you're getting their best every week.
Yeah. And Oregon's going to be in good shape with Lanning. I mean, whatever he's doing already defensively and everything, this team is going to be just fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again,
but I'm not concerned about Lanning or Oregon necessarily, but I do think that if you have an off week against the wrong team, they could get you.
Yeah, and we'll see. Now, they could easily go the hell off and
go the opposite way that we're talking right now, honestly.
Yeah, and I feel like we sound negative. I'm not trying to be at all. I'm just saying floor. Like, shit goes bad. I don't think it's going to go that bad.
Right.
But I see 9-3, 10-2.
Absolutely.
And that's a great season. You're going to be right on the edge of playoff talk. And
I think
you're going to be in Big Ten championship contention again.
Yeah. I think those last 2 games of the season are going to be play-in games for you. Like either you win them both and you're in, or you lose one and you're out. Because I think it's not lose 2 or win 2. It's beat them both or you lose one and you're out. Like I think that would be how it all how it plays out. But we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. 2 weeks, boys and girls. 2 weeks.
It's coming fast. Let us know in the comments. Keep it real. Come on, like some people get so fucking butthurt. We promise we're not hating on anybody. Football, man. Good Lord. Go look at some of the comments. Oh, you said something negative. I'm done. All right, see ya. I don't fucking care. Goodbye. So hit us up in the comments. Let's actually talk football instead of being soft as fucking baby shit. So
better yet, Oregon fans, we want to hear your floor. I don't want to hear how much you think they're going to win. What's the worst case scenario for Oregon this season? Let's hear it.
Let's hear it. Let's talk. We want to talk. That's what we're here for. So we'll see you guys in the comments. Hope you enjoyed it. Find us on any of these links and ads and whatever, where my fingers are pointing. We'll see you around. Hit that subscribe button.
Take it easy, everybody.